Welcome back. Well, our next session, under the theme of digital and smart, is a great presentation on navigating the path ahead, thanks to our sponsor, Lenovo. Our next speaker has over 25 years of experience working in the CAD, media and entertainment, and digital media sectors. Let's welcome the worldwide segment lead for AEC and product development at Lenovo, Chris Ruffo.
Great to be here at the Big Five Digital Festival. Looking forward to talking to you a little bit about how we at Lenovo are looking at the path ahead. We'll talk a little bit about some of the mega trends we're seeing in AEC and some of the products and services that we're developing that we're responding to your feedback. Well, I think the biggest trend that's on everybody's mind right now is mobility. Mobility is the new norm, and it takes a variety of different types, and we'll talk about these here quickly. We're seeing up to 62% of employees remaining at home as we work through the global health crisis. We've also seen an increase in cybercrime since COVID-19. So with regards to working remote, what we see is sort of three overall use cases. The first is the simplest. Many are simply grabbing their mobile workstations, packing them up, and heading home and plugging into a dock or a series of monitors, and they're up and running. But there are other use cases as well that we're seeing that are extremely important. I mean, for this first one, thin, light, faster mobile workstations are the order of the day, but it's not as simple as simply grabbing your laptop and heading home. There are other use cases that we're seeing. We're seeing, an overall growth in remote collaboration in this year and next year. And this creates complexity as people work from home and they need to collaborate globally, as we are, today at this global conference. We're seeing users wanting to connect with their teammates in different parts of the globe. Working remotely involves a different type of hardware, software relationship. And there are two other aspects that we're seeing with regards to working remote. The first is the requirement to have a desktop-like experience from a mobile workstation. So what many users are doing in this case is they're taking their mobile workstation home and they're connecting to their desktop workstation remote back office. And we have a solution that allows you to do this through TGX using the onboard processing power of the NVIDIA Quadro graphics in both your host and your client. What you're seeing on your mobile workstation is actually a video feed from your desktop workstation. So everything back in the office is being served to you via a video feed. It's fast, safe, and secure, and there's almost no latency. So a user, for example, doing complex simulation work can have the power of their desktop workstation back in the office on their mobile workstation at home. We're also seeing users needing to connect back at the office through a virtualized environment. We're seeing IT departments, investing in VDI workflows where they have a rack workstation back in the office and they carve that up into tiny virtual machines so that users working from home can access Revit or AutoCAD or MicroStation or any of the other solutions that they're using to do their daily work. The IT department can serve up a virtual machine that they can use from their mobile workstation. The next trend that we're seeing is around what we call this whole convergence of manufacturing workflows with building and construction. And this is the world of digital fabrication. This is the world of robotics. This is the world of, taking some of these manufacturing tools and techniques and applying them into the building world. And we've been working with a customer over the past few years called Actual. They're based out of Amsterdam, and they're doing some very, very innovative work around the 3D building of different building products through 3D printing. using a resin-based solution that can print everything from floors to architectural moldings and details. And their vision overall is to do this in a sustainable and circular manner where users can actually, pick catalog items as if they were creating a playlist for building construction. And I'm going to run a quick video that will help tell their story.
In construction, we really work with a lot of standardized products, but this also leads to a lot of waste because products don't fit. So it seems that buildings are being designed to fit the materials that already exist. And we try to really flip this around and provide tools and materials to really create any kind of building product that allows you then to create any kind of architecture. My name is Hedwig Heinsman. I'm an architect. I actually think in the future the AEC industry will be much more about bespoke design because of the 3D printing that we developed over the last 6 years. What's so great about 3D printing is that you can make things tailor-made, so everything really fits. We really need equipment that operates at the highest level so that we can focus on the most challenging problems. So Lenovo workstations are used during every step of our process, from initial design to final production. And I really can't wait to see where the future will bring us.
So we think that's a truly inspirational story. And, on the surface, it looks fantastic. It's very inspirational. But under the surface, when you look at all the compute technology for design, as well as programming the robots, compiling the G code, it requires a lot of workstation horsepower. And we were pleased to be partnering with Hedwig and Actual for the last couple of years as they develop these new and innovative workflows. In fact, we've got a couple of other stories that tie this world of manufacturing and construction together later in the presentation. So let's look at our next mega trend, our next big trend, and this is all around VR and mixed reality. And I know we've been talking about virtual reality for many, many, many years now. But what's actually changing is that the headsets are becoming so sophisticated that the experiences that one has through virtual reality and now mixed reality is so realistic and lifelike that users can make very, very informed design decisions early on in the design process in a collaborative and interactive way. And I'm going to quickly show you a live demonstration with one of our partners, Vario, which shows their new Vario XR1 headset. Now, this is an XR headset. It's an automotive demonstration, but the message is applicable to AEC. So you can see the person's hand is real. This headset has 20 megapixel cameras as eyes. So you can have a mixed virtual reality live experience through this headset. And the resolution is so fine that as you zoom into the car, you can actually see the stitching, the fabric in such hyper realism that it's like actually being in front of the car. I've done this demonstration a couple of times where you can actually put a stool down, sit in the Volvo itself next to somebody else with a headset on and actually collaborate interactively by doing reach studies, by examining the aesthetics of the interior, right down to, to the grain on the wood. Users are able to make such informed design decisions up front with clarity and confidence that what they're seeing is physically accurate. So this reduces, in manufacturing, it reduces the prototype cycle, saves expenses. In building and construction, it really helps validate design concepts early in the design phase, where it's much less costly to fix design errors. And this partnership with Vario is extremely important because their technology, it's new technology. It requires a lot of testing, and users simply want to be able to plug a headset in and ensure that it works. And what we've done is created a partnership with them that allows us to deliver solutions that are plug and play. And, you can see some statistics around where VR is going. I think this is all very, very familiar to us, but, our value is working with partners across the board, from Vario to some of the others, to ensure that our solutions work hand in hand. So let's talk about the next mega trend, and that's around visualization being in real time. Visualization has been a mainstay of architectural design and construction for decades. What's changing is that the graphics capabilities and the workstations are becoming so capable that one is able to have a photorealistic game-like experience now in visualization with materials and spaces that are physically accurate. Now I'm going to run a video from one of our partners called Neoscape, who's a design agency based out of the US, that has a number of top tier clients, and they've been working with us. They're using, I think, a P15 workstation, mobile workstation, and a desktop solution, a P620 and a P520 with the latest NVIDIA graphics and the Unreal Engine to do these real-time visualizations. And what we're learning from them is that the current healthcare crisis has actually accelerated the need for real-time graphics, because they now do all of their design reviews in real time with their clients through conferencing, and they need to be able to have the confidence that what they're showing the client is physically accurate and real, and they can make design decisions on the spot, which is entirely new. We couldn't do this even a couple of years ago. To see this level of reflection and refraction through real-time ray tracing, and having that level of confidence that everything is physically accurate without having to round trip to the render farm and wait a week to get client feedback and approval. So the last mega trend that I want to talk about combines a variety of different things. Artificial intelligence, IoT, and smart building. This is a very, very interesting story. Many of you may have been tracking the MX3D smart bridge that's being designed and constructed. We've been partnering with them for, I'd say, 3 or 4 years. The great news is that the bridge is done and they're just about to have it installed. They're going to install it later in the month. They've been waiting for planning approvals in Amsterdam. So this is, I'm going to show you another quick video here that kind of highlights the process. This is the world's first 3D printed stainless steel bridge. They used a lot of our technology throughout the process, from the design and engineering phases to higher powered workstations for processing the robots to be able to generate the G code, to be able to print the stainless steel bridge, to some IoT stuff around the bridge itself. I'll talk about that as the video is playing here. Let me just run this. So you're seeing a 6-axis robot actually print the stainless steel bridge. The bridge itself is being moved to site. It's going to be hooked up with an IoT sensor network in partnership with Autodesk and Lenovo. And the sensor network is almost like an IoT nervous system on the bridge. It understands what's happening to it in real time. This data can be captured and processed and communicated to other smart structures. And the great thing about it is that it's like a digital twin. The feedback that comes from the bridge can be used to inform future design processes and compare the as-built bridge to the actual design intent. So they can understand through the sensor network and IoT infrastructure whether the bridge is performing to spec, which is extremely important for new technology to understand how it's working, that it's meeting its design requirements. So very, very, very interesting story. So let's talk about the Lenovo workstation portfolio, the P-Series portfolio, and how this ties back to some of these mega trends. So one of the most challenging things when we're talking about workstations is just boiling down the overall portfolio. There's a lot of products, different configurations. I'll try and simplify what our product line looks like, and then we can follow up with the team during the live Q&A if you've got any additional queries. So on the The desktop side, we have several workstations that range on the left-hand side from our 340 Tiny, 340 small form factor. These are based around the Intel Core i7 and i9 processors, and they're great CAD workstations. Super high clock speed, very capable in terms of their configuration. They're, the mainstay of users using Autodesk solutions like Revit or Bentley MicroStation, etc., or Rhino, or whatever the case may be. Moving over to the right, our flagship workstation is the P920. It's our most advanced dual processor workstation, and these are based around the Xeon scalable processors. So these kind of workstations are used for mostly multi-physics workflows, doing simulation and analysis, computational fluid dynamics, stress analysis, etc. Any workflow that requires a lot of compute calculation, the P920 excels. And the P720 is the little sister of the P920, both based around the scalable processor set. We've introduced a new workstation called the P620, based around the AMD Threadripper Pro technology. And I'm going to talk about that one in just a moment. I'm going to break it out because it's the world's first professional workstation based around the Threadripper Pro technology, and it offers some very unique possibilities for CAD, BIM design, as well as simulation and analysis. The P520 is based around, it's a single CPU based around the Xeon W processors, and it's again, it's an IT classic. It's good for just about anything from general CAD to visualization. It works extremely well in IT environments where IT departments want to simplify the installation, deployment, and configuration of a workstation across multiple teams. And the 520C is the smaller brother of the 520. Now, let's have a look at, let me just jump ahead here, the P620. So the P620 we just spoke about is the new workstation we've introduced this year based around the AMD Threadripper Pro technology. And what's so special here is that the technology allows you to have configurations with up to 64 cores. It's the first workstation based around PCIe Gen 4 with 8-channel memory architecture, up to a terabyte of fast memory, 10 gigabit down Ethernet on the board, and up to 28 PCIe lanes. So what this means is that we've got a more compact format for users that need to do a variety of different types of tasks, from BIM design to simulation and analysis to high-end visualization workflows. The new NVIDIA RTX A6000 card, you'll be able to put 2 of these in this workstation. Very, very powerful for real-time visualization. But the beauty of the Threadripper Pro technology is that not only do you get a lot of cores, you also get very, very high clock speed. So it comes in a couple of different flavors. There's a 16-core, 12-core, a 32-core, and a 64-core. All of the core configurations have very, very high clock speed, with the 12 and 16-core rivaling the clock speed of other solutions, other lower core count solutions. So architects, designers, and engineers can have their cake and eat it too. They can have a workstation that has extremely high clock speed for running Revit, and a lot of cores for doing other types of work, whether it's rendering, visualization, simulation, analysis, complex VR workflows. So it's a really great all-rounder, and it scales up to those 32 or 64 cores for users who need to do very complex analysis, CAE workflows, or artificial intelligence workflow on the desktop. So moving on to our mobile workstations, going to spend a little bit of time here. The portfolio has changed this year. We've rebranded the workstations. So in the past, you may be familiar with the P52 and the P53. We've streamlined the naming convention. So those workstations are now the P15 and The P14 was just introduced last year. P17 replaces the P73. So it's the same workstations, but in a different naming configuration. The exciting thing is that there's been some new innovations throughout the product line in terms of their capabilities. I'll come to that in just a sec. Just wanted to remind everyone of the TBR study that shows that Lenovo workstations are up to 20% more reliable than some of the other workstation OEM manufacturers, which is very important to us and important to you, that the workstations you invest in are going to work for the long haul. And I'd be remiss in not pointing out the special testing that we do on all of our ThinkPads, legendary reliability. Once you open up a ThinkPad, you'll see from the inside, these are designed to withstand extreme work conditions. The chassis inside is magnesium, which is very, very strong, light. It allows the unit to take a lot of stress. Who would have thought we would actually perform tests like growing fungus on the motherboard, altitude tests? Our ThinkPads work in any extreme conditions, which means they're going to work and be reliable on your desktop wherever you need them, whenever you need them. The last thing I wanted to mention around the overall portfolio is the certification that we do around ISV certification. We have partnerships with all of the major CAD vendors, from Autodesk to Bentley to you name it. We're working with them to ensure that our hardware performs best for the applications that you use on a day-to-day basis. And then last but not least, some of the innovations that we're seeing in the new mobile workstation lineup are very both the P15, which replaces the P53, has a new memory configuration. It has a new graphics daughter board. It has the latest Intel Xeon and Core i processors, up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigs of RAM. And the configurations that you can do are very, very sophisticated. So because of that new graphics daughter board, there's virtually any type of configuration that you can do between the graphics board up to an RTX 5000 to any of the Intel Xeon or Core i or i9 mobile processors. So it's a great workstation from everything from general CAD through to visualization, simulation you can do mobile on the go. The P1G3 was just released as well, and it has the latest screen technology, the latest processors, up to a T2000 NVIDIA graphics board. Perfect workstation for Revit on the go. So we're very excited about our new portfolio. I only wish that I could join you in person to actually show these units to you and tear them apart, so you can actually see where our engineering resources have gone into supporting you. Thank you very much. Look forward to having a live Q&A with you in just a moment.
Well, a very impressive presentation there from Chris Ruffo, and some incredible megatrends to look out for as well. Joining us for our audience Q&A on navigating the path ahead within the AEC industry and how technology is evolving and becoming more tangible. It's a great pleasure to welcome a Lenovo representative. A very warm welcome to Ayaz Khan, who is the Relationship Account Manager for Lenovo Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Laura. It's a pleasure.
Well, what a fantastic presentation there from your colleague. We do have some Q&A from our audience. I think we're going to start off with, is there a demo unit that we can use to test the workstation product with the software? That's our first question from our audience.
Thank you, Laura. Indeed, it was a great presentation by Chris covering how technology is evolving and supporting the AEC industries. The answer to the question is yes, the demo units are available for customers to test within the Saudi market. They just have to reach out to us locally, and we should be able to facilitate that.
Brilliant. Well, the next question is, in fact, how can we reach out to the Lenovo Saudi team to get more details on the workstation portfolio?
Well, we have our contacts and the rooms available on this session. If not, we would be happy to share individually the contact details of the customers, and the other partners can reach out to can log into our website, reach out to our generic desk email, and numbers and contacts are all listed there.
Brilliant. Thank you for clearing that up. What do you think the advantages of remote working have been for the AEC sector, and will this continue, do you think?
Honestly speaking, this year we have seen trends that are different, which has impacted the AC sector as well. Mobile working or mobile workstations have been a key to the market, and has been the key to the industry as well. So I believe this trend will continue for a while, and the question should be, is the sector ready to embrace this trend? Are they technologically equipped? The answer to that is yes. Lenovo is in fact supporting this industry to be mobile and have to be able to function exactly that how they were supposed to be within their premises, and for that we have the right products. This could be discussed in detail if we have customers reaching out to us directly, and we could sort of tailor a particular solution and address their needs.
Now, we heard a lot of these mega trends from Chris earlier. What do you think is going to be the biggest technology trend in the coming years? XR, VR, IoT, or AI?
Well, absolutely, these are evolving. Again, to answer this question, I will take a step back and say that the gap that the AEC industry had been facing over the last few years has been challenging, because the shift in what they were doing in the past to what they want in the future is huge. And these trends, AI, VR especially, would be a key impact. And to have the right mainframe, or to have the right products to be able to do those things, is the key. So yes, future is AR, VR, and artificial intelligence.
Mix of all of them, is it? So our key takeaways, what would you like our audience to go away with? So tell us some of the key highlights off the back of the session today.
Perfect. Chris pretty much summed up the entire offering or proposition that we have. But the key takeaway for our customers and partners, I would say, is that we know of the challenges. We at Lenovo are involved heavily in how the AEC industry has been shaping for the last couple of years, and we have been thoroughly involved in an R&D supporting this sector. Can Lenovo support our customers' drive towards the future? Absolutely, yes. We have the right technology and the drive to let the customers be at par with the technological trends. So I would the key takeaway, or the one thing that I would say, is Lenovo is a place where we are constantly positioning smarter technology for all, irrespective of the industry. And please reach out to us on how we can tailor a sort of a solution for you.
Thank you so much to Ayaz Khan there, and also to Chris Ruffo. Wonderful to have you all join us, and also to take our live audience questions. Thanks so much. And thank you to all of our attendees who have written in some really great questions there and so far throughout the day. Please do keep them coming in throughout the day. We are going to be back after this short break.